Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to screaming louder through the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live to speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats round and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome to Nerd TV for another Thursday night ProSim Racing Alliance Fixed ARCA Series race live for race number 9 at Darlington Raceway. Lady in Black here, sunset in the practice session as we get our countdown to green started off, presented by Icon Apparel Company. We're going to go 60 laps around this 1.36 mile oval track, egg-shaped of course. Everybody knows who Darlington is, so 85 degrees in the skies, 52% humidity, clear skies, no clouds whatsoever, and 7-mile-an-hour winds. So very, very nice hot evening here in South Carolina in the virtual world. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka AJ Swifty, and then to my right side, Cole Ainsley, ProSim Racing Alliance Open points leading driver. What's up, man?
How's it going? It's good to be back. I had a week or so off from the Glen, and we're here. We were talking about track nicknames before we went live, and I've got a new one. We got the the mean darling of the South. So I'm ready for tonight. This will be fun to watch some of these guys because it looks like some of them are on the struggle bus. So this is very much a driver's racetrack, and we'll see how it goes. Some of these guys have got it figured out and know it like the back of their hand. Other ones are lost like a blind man.
Mean darling of the South is what he just quoted. Don't know if I've heard that one yet. So trademarks inbound for Cole Ainsley. This is going to fork over the cash starting tomorrow morning and get that marked up. So we got about 1 minute left in this practice session. We got about, what are we looking at, 15 drivers on this current entry list here as we're closing it out. Corey Bigley's your top guy with Will Jones. Only 2 drivers to crack the 28.9 second bracket. The practice times, I think it's about total, 4/10 of a second spread amongst most of the drivers have taken time. So at Darlington, that's actually a pretty tight field.
Yeah, it is. Corey Bigley obviously leading. He's running really smooth tonight. I was talking to a few people beforehand. Will Jones going to be the guy to watch to save tires. Just incredible tire management that he's got. Bobby Hamilton Jr. knows this place really well. He'll be good. But also, I mean, look at some of the consistent people. John Freeman is really good. Has been running really good all season, and I think he'll be somebody to watch. But don't count on a few people like Mark Truxell. We saw him win at a racetrack, Rockingham, where it's all about tire management, all about tire saving. And this is just Mark's kind of place. If he can just be smooth, be calm, and have a nice clean night, he'll be up there at the end to battle for the win.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with that there. And current drivers that have won, 7 different drivers in the first 8 races. So let's see if we can add another driver to that list as practice does end. We're gonna go jump to qualifying. That means we're gonna get our cameras off your screens and go full screen with some of the fastest guys in this practice session. Looks like Will Jones, second place, already on track and rolling. So we'll see what the 46 does here on his opening line.
Like I said, Will Jones, great tire management. He's my teammate over in the Open Series. Great dude to race with, nice, clean racer. We don't see him a whole lot in the fixed stuff, but it's good to have him back and see what kind of performance he can put on as he makes a lap around Darlington. And even by yourself, this is a tough lap. You got to send it off down into the corner, Get your left sides on the white line, drift all the way up to the racetrack symbol, and then kind of start to cut back down. Otherwise, that turn 2 wall will sneak up on you and bite you. They don't call it the Darlington Strike for nothing, because that's where a lot of people get them. And then there's 2 different ways to approach 3 and 4. You saw him dip down just a little bit. Other people will stay up against the wall and rotate around the corner up top and then turn down. He kind of ran it similar to 1 and 2. And we'll see what kind of lap he puts up on the board. 29.18, pretty solid lap to get us going here. Obviously, track times are going to be, well, he's going to be a little bit slower than his practice time. Qualifying times seem to usually do that. iRacing, for whatever reason, resets the session. We haven't quite figured out what it does yet, so track's obviously a little bit slower. Bobby Jr. up to 2nd, Bettini running 3rd with a 49, and Will Jones will he'll improve to a 29.04. Pretty good lap.
Yeah, pretty decent lap. Almost mimics his practice time. Only 1/10 shy of that, as we have 3 current drivers, now 4, posting official qualifying times for the session, as we have 3 minutes left in qual. Just want to go over the top 5 in points so far through 8 races. Top 5, front person, Dominic Bettini. He's got a 6-point advantage over Billy Bigley Jr., or Corey, if you will, depending on if you're looking at the Sim Racer Hub or the scoring pylon. And then you have Brandon Schumann in 3rd, 48 out. Rodney Roberts, 4th place at 55 out. And Mark Truxell, you just talked about him briefly, 56 points out, sitting currently in P5. And this is race 9 of the schedule, which we have 17 scheduled events that ends off at Michigan on October 9th, the day after my birthday, is when you guys are finishing off the inaugural Fixed ARCA Series here. And then, so yeah, there you go. We're just past halfway. We had our only off week last week. Now it's just straightforward all the way to the end.
Yeah, looking at these points, I mean, I'm kind of Dominic Bettini. I'm honestly kind of surprised he's been up there leading the points. You know, it's only a 6-second gap. But you had mentioned, and the only reason I'm saying it is because you mentioned it. Me leading the points in the Open Series is kind of a similar season. I'm only up by 8 points, but I'm saying all this to say he has been consistent all season. He's been keeping the car clean. He had a couple of races rough to start, but since then he's been really consistent in that top 3-4 positions. And even though he's not gathering a lot of bonus points, he's only got 7 compared to Corey Bigley, who's got 28. And he still doesn't have that win. Neither does Corey, to be fair. But he has just been really consistent, and that's all that matters to keep up the points. You don't have to be winning every single race to be running good. I mean, Derek Runge, I don't think he's even here tonight. He's the only guy with 2. I'm sorry. He's got 2 wins, and then yeah, he's the only one with 2 wins. So he's sitting way down in 8th place in the points. So it shows that consistency is what really matters.
Yeah, 100% here. Less than a minute left, and yeah, I'm glad to give you a shout out, man. I'm talking to a series points leading driver right now in my booth. I get to talk to all race long. So if there's anyone I'm going to get I'm not going to get tips from the guy in 15th place in points. I'd rather get it from the guy who's leading the open session. So that's where the fast times get posted, and you're that guy. So that's why it's cool to have you in the booth to kind of go over the fixed stuff. Because you know a thing or two, because you've done a thing or two in these ARCA cars. I think this is the least amount of drivers, Colt, I've ever seen posted time in qualifying. 8 out of the 16 now that are registered for this race. That's half the field. Why do you think that is?
Because everyone knows we're gonna wad it up in turn 1 or turn 2 pretty early on. These guys that are not qualifying are just trying to survive the night. This is going to be an attrition race. We talk about the Darlington Stripe all the time, but there's a Darlington Stripe, and then there's a Darlington Hammer. And several of these guys are going to get the hammer a couple of times, and it's going to bend the toe out. It's going to knock the right rear off. It's going to knock the right front off. And so some of these guys are trying to start further in the back, give themselves a gap from other cars, and not be in that initial pileup when it happens. Then you got guys on the other end of the spectrum who want to be leading, and run away. Just be away from the wreck, be ahead of it. So a lot of different strategies we're seeing here.
Colt calling the big one out here this evening. What lap? We don't know, but it'll show its face. But here's the starting lineup for race number 9 of the ARCA Fixed Series. Corey Bigley and John Freeman will hold P1 and P2. Will Jones and Rodney Roberts start in the second row. Keenan Kimber and Bobby Hamilton Jr. in row 3. Row 4 is Dominic Bettini and Brandon Schumann. Row 5 is David Bradford and Steve Rada. Row 6 is Derek Welch and Mark Truxell. Row 7 is Frank Giffett and Joshua Ingram. And then the last row is going to be Chase Rockford and Jason Steptoe. If they all get in here, they got about 30 seconds or so before they have to start rolling. And then, like I said, 60 laps. I think there is, no fast repairs. I think actually we have a graphic. I don't know if Dustin's button allows us to do it. Dustin Loxton, by the way, our producer, the magic guy behind the scenes here. Here we go. Fixed setup, 100% fuel load, unlimited tires, no fasties, 1 green, white checkered. The Lucky Dog is always in effect, and wave rounds are as well. There's your race stats to know about as we turn these laps here. That fast repair call is probably going to be much needed if they did have one, because Darlington does not play well with any cars that race here.
That's the reason we don't use them. If these guys have that crutch to lean back on, they're more likely to do something really stupid that they shouldn't. And so I actually it's bit me before, and I've gotten the rough end of not having a fast repair, but its point is to be as realistic as possible and teach these guys, the school of hard knocks, do not do anything stupid. do not wreck, do not drive in over your head, and it's taken a little while, but these guys are starting to get that hammered through.
Sometimes they say it's easier said than done. At Darlington, it is way easier said than done. This track is not wide. It looks wide. On the camera angle, you see there's 15 grooves you can choose from? Nope. You get 2.5. I say 2.5. There's technically a third, but if you're running the center of turn 1 and turn 2 on the very bottom, you can just kiss your car goodbye when it gets to corner exit, because that thing's going to slam the wall or the driver on the outside if you're trying to stay competitive. So, and then turn 3 and 4, I wish they could utilize that 4th and 5th groove at the bottom half below the dashed white line. The real guys do it in any upper series like the Cup, Xfinity, Truck, but you can't do it on iRacing as well. But we get what we get here, and here we go in the restart zone to start this thing off. Green flag, race number 9 underway, and the 42, Mr. Freeman, matches the start of Corey Bigley. Get to turn number 1. Let's see how quick these guys fan, single file or not. The 46 almost looked to the inside of oh man, there's the turn 1, turn 2 wall. They're already showing its face. What was that? Rodney Roberts, car 12, just obliterated it.
Looked like he got away with not too much damage though, but you saw Keenan Kimmer and Bobby Jr. scramble for cover after that happened. But yeah, these guys they just got to settle in. You know, the nerves are there. Three wide early on. Bobby thought better of it. He knows he wants to go to the front and get away from some of these guys, but he's got to be patient. Otherwise, he's going to find himself parked earlier than he usually does. So, well, these guys are probably going to get single file pretty quick once they find their spot in line and just ride to fight the tires.
There's a nice little battle here to open up this race that finally settles itself out. Brandon Schumann in the 52 puts a little bit of work on the 49 of Dominic Bettini as he falls back to 9th place overall, as the entire field already single filed out here. Race leader Corey Bigley is going to open up this race, leading the first 3 laps. The 46, Will Jones, taking a look. Can he make the pass early on the inside? It's easier to do it in 3 and 4, but no. Looks like Freeman's going to get a great launch off of turn 4.
Yeah, Will's just letting him know he's there. I don't think Will's really trying to push the issue. His game is the long run. That's where he excels. So he's just letting Freeman know, hey, I'm here. You know, you mess up, I'll be around, and don't not look at your rearview mirror all too often. I'll be there waiting. So he's just trying to get in his head. Like I said, he plays the long game really, really well, and It's cool looking though. We're at Darlington. It's cool to see all these throwback schemes that we're looking at. We got Rodney Roberts running the Casey Kane Bud throwback. We got see a handful of other ones. I believe Dominic Bettini is running a that was Kenny Schrader. I know my old race cars. I thought, but running the old BAM car, that's pretty cool. Steve Rada. I apologize, Steve. I forget what yours was. I believe it was
So
a
this
late
is a
model.
1994 unknown name driver. Just a random car in a random late model series race. Yes, ASA late model, I do believe. But he wanted to use it, and it looks like it's a cool scheme. It applies well on the ARCA car. Speaking of throwbacks, I mean, how can I not talk about Bobby Hamilton Jr.? He could have easily run the blue and yellow Square D car. That would have been a good one. There's a lot of options that he could have chose for himself in his own throwback, but no, he chooses to run his stock normal weekly paint scheme. So there's that.
I think that might be a little bit of a trading paints thing because I'm seeing him for his throwback that he is running. He's running the pink Country Time Ford, which was a race car of his dad's, one that I know he's very fond of, and he likes to run that car a lot. So I hate that Trading Paints has
That's
been acting
wild.
up the way.
Yeah,
I hate
Dustin,
Trading Paints has been acting up really bad about that. So, but he is running a throwback, and I want to throw that shout that out to him. So
my software is running in the black and yellow. Dustin's is running in the black and yellow.
interesting.
That's kind of weird that two of the three don't have it right. Yeah, Trading Paints is, when it's got the grip over everything and it doesn't work right, we're just all along for the ride. Speaking along for the ride, look at this. We got a good little battle here for second. It slowed up. John Freeman allowed Corey to advance, 5 or 6 car lengths over the 42 as they go back single file. And Dustin's bringing out the camera finally. He's using his creative mindset. He loved running the spoiler or the passenger window camera at Darlington because, these guys sometimes like to breathe on that outside wall. We get the Darlington stripe eventually, as that tally, I think, is at 1 still with car number 9 hitting that wall early, or 12, Mr. Rodney Roberts. 2 drivers in this field in the top 5 don't know how to put their number correctly to what's on the door.
Well, and Rodney, he's got the number 1 for the Darlington stripe, but he's gotten it about half a dozen times. So we'll, mark that how you will. But I mean, you see how close these guys are getting it. Beware of flashing lights because you're going to see a lot of red and white and not much else from this camera view. Especially as the night gets later and later, they're going to get closer and closer to that wall because that's where the grip is and that's where the speed is. So right now the cars are driving. Oh, I say that the cars 10 laps ago were driving as the best that they were going to. Now we're going to start seeing a little bit of that right front start to wear out. We see Kenny Kimber also with a throwback. That's an old Joe. It's both Joe Nemechek and Jerry Nadeau, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a very underrated paint scheme that not a lot of people run. So I'm glad to see that one get the love it deserves.
Turn 4 here on the front stretch to complete lap number 11. These drivers like to run the very, very outside wall here. Not only just because it's the widest part of the corner and you want to kind of apex it if you can because of the egg shape, but the aerodynamic pressure between the car and the wall has some effect on iRacing. As you get really close to it, the air will actually push the car just a little bit. It pushes it away from the wall, so it helps the car rotate, which in return gives you more speed. So as long as you can finesse it to your advantage, it works great. If not, you'll see the guys stay a car length off the wall. Just to not try to plow that thing over. As Dustin flies the drone camera at 170 plus miles an hour down the back straightaway here, looking at John Freeman in the 42, and look at that sunset. It's almost completed there off of turn 4. Beautiful shots here.
John Freeman might have to have a word with Dustin. He got pretty close to clipping that spoiler. But running, you see just how close they're running. You see how much the car yaws out too. If you look at the lines in the pavement, in the corner, you have the left front of the car will be right on those tar lines. But then you'll have the left rear be several inches out. That's the car stepping out, or what we call a yaw, where the whole back end will swing out just a touch. And typically cars that are looser will do that more than cars that are tighter. But places like Darlington, they run a lot of yaw in these things. They will let the car step out. Um, and that helps that pressure bubble that you were talking about on the outside wall. It creates a wedge shape that actually forces more air to the right rear quarter panel, making that bubble even stronger. So, Martin Freeman, John Freeman gets his Darlington stripe. We got 2 on the docket now.
Were you just making a Morgan Freeman reference there, or did you say Mark?
Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman. I was thinking about Martin Freeman the other day.
I was gonna say we're gonna broadcast this thing like it's Morgan Freeman. I just don't like to try to do the voice, but that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, yeah, there's more. Corey Bigley hit it last lap, according to our producer, Mr. Dustin Loxton, the 52. Schumann just tagged it himself off of turn 2, which, you know, our logos are on that car. Don't wreck my car. That's all I got to say there. Single foul for the first 17 laps. So we're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break, and we'll be right back. Well, here we go. We go to commercial break, and we get our first caution on lap number 20, and this is a wild one here as we're seeing Bobby Hamilton trying to get it going here. He makes clippings with the number 9 here in turn number 3 on his left rear. Complete by accident, but watch this. Save first and foremost. Car number 9. Just excellent job, Rodney Roberts. This is where it starts to get wild, right, Colt? We're all sitting here cheering like fans here in the broadcast booth as this happens. Look at this. 45-degree angle. No problem.
On the wheel.
But then this part, we're going to go 4 wide, and Rodney has no idea that they're 3 wide already. And then just sandwich in the middle, nowhere to go for all these guys. They just stack up right on the outside of them.
When you see him panic there at the last second, he jukes the car back to the left, but unfortunately they were already gonna wreck. He had no idea there was that many cars out there. He might have been fine if 3 wide wasn't gonna work into turn 1 and 2, so they may have had some fireworks at that point. But it's just nowhere for Bobby or Schumann to go. Really, Will Jones for that matter. Will Jones had fallen off a cliff. I don't know if he got damaged or burned his tires up, but yeah, an aggressive move by Schumann. I don't know that was going to work all that well anyway, but a lot of cars and not a lot of room.
Yeah, the 25 Bobby, he was really slow off turn 4. Like, he choked up because he knew he was 3 wide, plus he had made contact with the 9. So he was going to be off pace, and they might have settled it to 2 wide by the time they got to turn number 1, but they didn't get that opportunity as Roddy just comes up the track. Blind spot, plus they're 3 wide. He can't tell anything. He's just trying to get merged back up to the track and get set up for turn number 1. And then there they go. 46 just drives into the 25, then drives into the 52. Those 3 pile up, and the 9 just drives off into the sunset here as he is the one who brings out the first caution.
And I don't know that they all got a whole lot of damage. I mean, they probably all got optional, but it just sorry, I'm getting other radio through my ear. But I mean, we've been talking about white gloves the past couple of weeks from thanks to Austin Hill, but look at the gloves that Rodney Roberts, he was sawing on it trying to keep it straight. He did a great job up until that last little bit.
Talking about Austin Hill, the one who should be banned from Xfinity in 2025. That's the same driver you're talking about. Look at this. Look at that massive turn to the right. Straightens it out. A little loose down the bottom there. The old tires were slipping and sliding, so he didn't have complete control of the car. But it drifts up, and it looks, on his perspective, looks like absolutely nothing happened from the Oakley visor camera.
Well, and another thing too, the iRacing spotter is notoriously bad for not calling cars outside if it's above a car width. And he's 2 or 3 car widths down there. This iRacing spotter is not going to tell him, hey, you're the bottom of 4 wide, but you're still 2 car widths down. So he comes up there thinking he's, maybe side by side with Bobby. He has no clue Will Jones is there until that spotter might have said the last second car high, but it definitely didn't tell him 4 wide.
Nope, there's not even a sound pack in iRacing that says, hey, you're 4 wide. Literally nothing. As we go back to a green flag for the second time, restarting this race on lap 25. Corey Bigley continues to be the only leader in this race and gets a commanding 4 to 5 car length advantage just in turn 1 alone. And he's going to improve on that as they're side by side for second and third as a bunch of drivers bounce off the turn 2 wall.
It looks like that was Josh Ingram might have smacked the wall in turn 2 there. Lost a lot of ground. But 2 wide between Mark and Frank, as well as DW, Derek Welch, and Will Jones. 2 really fast race car drivers gonna fight it out here. Rodney Roberts gonna try to get past Will Jones as well, but thinks better of it. But Schumann and Griffith still side by side.
Man, 65, Keenan Kember just sandwiched the 42 of Freeman to the outside wall. He's able to sneak by and pass. He apologized, but man, that would have been real close for a double wall glue. In turn 1 and turn 2, Steve Rada picking up a couple spots into P4, now under attack by the 49 of your points leader, Dominic Bettini. Turn number 1, Steve finds the outside wall a ton, able to not spin it. Man, that car just took a heavy impact to the turn 1 wall.
Yeah, but it looks like the spoiler's straight and the right rear quarter straight, so he might be all right, but he's not going to get away with too many more of that. Just run your line, and if they want to get by you, they will find a way around. Don't try to guard your position. This is a place you have to race the racetrack, not other drivers. So this is I mean, it looks like he's going to let both Bettini and Truxell go. But yeah, you just got to race the racetrack, race your car, the tire wear, and run your line. Don't try to race anyone too aggressively. Don't try to block too hard. I mean, if they are faster, they're going to get around you no matter what you do. Even though it's as hard to pass as it is here, they will find a way around if they have to, or if they need to.
As we just go all single file here to start off lap 29 of the scheduled 60, so 2 more laps will signal the halfway mark in tonight's race number 9 at Darlington for the Fixed ARCA Series at ProSim Racing Alliance. Take a moment to shout out one of our partners, which I haven't verbally done so in a little bit. Victory Fuel. It's a drink that has no caffeine, no sugars, no dyes. Gives you all your vitamins for your daily needs. Comes in smaller cans, but has 3 great flavors to choose from. And you can try these at drinkvictory.com today. And my favorite continues to still be Purple Potion. I think Dustin likes the Lucky Lemon. or fruit punch, the throttle punch. And then Colt, I don't know if you've tried that drink yet, but all three of them are great.
I have yet to try it, but it is on my list of drinks to try.
There you go. Dustin over here trying to pair up boozy jerky and a can of Victory Fuel. That'd be a combination yet to be had. Sounds like me and Dustin have a snack for our Sunday broadcast in line.
Steve gets the wall again, trying to guard from Rodney Roberts there.
Steve loves walls.
Well, Rodney
he's
had
in
a
there.
run on him, but it looks like he just kind of backed up, trying to figure out where the three is going to be to know where to get around him. That's the hardest part about passing someone is you might get a run and be faster, but you don't know where they're going to be sometimes. But looks like Steve's going to let him by, and they're going to get away.
Yeah.
And live
Steve
to fight
doesn't
another
know
one.
where Steve's gonna be. I'm just saying that because he's in this channel. So he lets the 9 go around Mr. Rodney Roberts, so he's gonna drop Steve back to P9, Rodney rather up to P8 as we're on lap 33 here. Corey Bigley still with a half a second lead over the 42 of Freeman. Let's go a little bit of turn up the tunes. Listen to these cars go around Darlington. We'll be back here in a few. And back live here. So yeah, turn up the tunes for just a moment in time. So we're on lap 41, 20 laps to go. Corey Bigley continuing to keep the broom in hand. But with that being said, look who's crawling into the picture, Colt, is John Freeman, who was, when we went to that break, was 0.5 to 0.6. Now the last time by, he was 0.301, and he's still closing in at the line, 19 to go. The distance is 0.278.
He's been taking just little bites out of him every time. Oh, Corey gets into the wall pretty hard there. That's going to check him a big time. Big run down the back stretch. Oh, he gets it again.
Uh-oh. First lead change.
Handling really going away on that 28 car. But he's going to stay tough to the outside. Oh, side by side through 3 and 4. Bigley.
Contact.
Both. Man, Bigley getting the left and right side of his car torn up there. But they say side by side into one. This is going to be tight. Oh, Freeman stuffs the 28 in the wall.
Yeah, gave him basically no room for error. Literally no room. And so 28's going to hit the wall on the outside. And now he's going to take off 3, 4, 5 car lengths as the first official lead change does happen on 42 of the scheduled 60 lap period. All right. Now, does Corey have anything for him? Can he cool his tires down, or you think that's it?
I think he's burned his stuff up. As bad as he's been struggling here, I think he's just praying for a caution, which, looking at the battle for third place, these guys are scrapping. So caution may not be too far away if they keep at it like they have been. Dominic Bettini up to third place, trying to maintain his points lead.
Yeah, he's climbed through the field, started 7th, now up to 3rd. Doing a great job on this long run portion of the race. That 44, now 45 underway. As 4th and 5th are side by side momentarily. Mark, we know he's that long run driver. Putting in some late speed here, moves himself to P4.
And I'm watching Corey Bigley on my second monitor. He got the wall again, but he's hanging tough, about 4 or 5 tenths back. He might be trying to cool his tires down, but also Freeman could be backing off. Oh, Bettini gets really tight. Has to check up really hard. Oh, are they going to... Oh, no. Contact. Bettini around.
Where's the caution? Where's the caution?
Points implications for the 49.
No caution for Dominic Bettini and
tough
Mark
for
Troxel
Bettini
here. Yeah, that's a... going from 6 up the points to negative something. Is that contact between him and the 9 brings out no caution and is going to drop Bettini down to about 10th or so. And here's the Nerd TV replay. And yeah, I'm hearing the driver's radios. I know you are too. I'm seeing the video. And I don't think Dominic did anything wrong.
I mean, I don't think really either one of them did it. I mean, Mark is not a dirty racer. He is the last person who will wreck you on purpose. They just ran out of room, racing hard there at the end. You see Bettini coming down, trying to run his normal line. Mark's down there on the white line. I mean, they're just going for the same real estate. But, I mean, you see right here as they make contact, Truxell lays on the brakes and flat spots his tires really bad. Hopefully that doesn't hurt him in the long run there. Just locking that right front tire, trying to keep off the 49. Minimal damage to both of them. Honestly, I don't think Mark even got damage. And Bettini just kisses the wall ever so slightly. Probably not even any optional damage. But their tires are shot. So even to add insult to injury, I guess I should say, you get spun out there with 15 to go and your tires are shot. So it's not even like you can come up there and make a solid run for it.
Yeah, Dominic is struggling. He is so loose. He just needs to find a pit road, but you're not going to do that with 11 or 12 laps to go. So just going to ride it out until this thing is over. Freeman almost to a full second advantage over Corey. But that last time by, though, surprisingly, Corey picked up a whole 10th over Freeman. And Freeman's got a little lap traffic ahead of him here as they're going to lay to the inside for both these drivers, thankfully. But the way that Corey just gained a whole 10th, let's see if that was just a one-lap thing or if that might be a new pace at the 28 setting.
Could be. I think the 42 might also. I said 42. The 5, Freeman is. He might also just be pacing himself. Like you get out there, you've got the clean air. It's Darlington. It's hard to pass. If you've got the better tires, why run away? Why go out to a 3, 4, 5 second lead? Especially if a caution comes out, you're gonna all come in and take tires anyway. So why run away too far? Just keep the car, in a position to where if you slip, you can catch it and maintain your lead. But otherwise, save your stuff. Don't run too hard. Pace yourself, make him come back to you. And I think that might be what the 42 is doing. He's just ever so slightly quicker, but he's not trying to run the car ragged like we see Corey Bigley doing. I mean, his tires are just gone, and he's running ragged trying to catch back up to him.
Yeah, he's right on that edge of maybe gaining a 10th here, 10th there, but once you hit the line this time, he loses 4/100. So he's flirting between that 0.6 and 0.8 differential now with 8 laps to go and a little bit of wall contact. I think that's all said and done for the 5 as long as he can run his laps clean. And see Corey really struggling there. Battle for 3rd and 4th is still going on strong, and actually side by side as I talk about it, Derek Welch makes the pass over Keenan Kemper, puts himself into the podium top 3, and it looks like he's able to secure it off of 3 and 4. Well, hold on, a little loose from car number 1, and allowed Keenan to get back to the inside.
Freeman in the wall. Freeman just got the wall in turn 2. Didn't lose a ton of ground, but he did get into the wall pretty hard. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there talking about that battle, but it's a good battle. I mean, Derek Welch really good on old tires as well. We don't talk about that as much. But coming from the back, he started dead last with almost no practice. Dominated the Watkins Glen race after Freeman, ironically, blew an engine. So a little bit of redemption in mind for Freeman, but strong battle for the 65 Keenan Kemper. He's not ready to give this up yet.
Nope, he made one last effort there, and I think that was all she wrote for the 65. Unless the number 1 makes a mistake like that, scratches the outside wall. You need more of that for Keenan to get back, maybe. But here we go. This is an interesting approach. The 1's going to take a late apex into turn 3. I don't know if that I agree with, but the 65 made a mistake, so then that washed it out. And I think if the 65 kept it off the wall, we might be going side by side here because that late apex from car number 1.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to run 3 and 4. That's much more the driver's portion of the racetrack. Some guys use brakes, some guys don't. Some guys run high, run low, diamond the corner. Like, there's 100 different ways to run that and still be fast. So it's interesting to watch that. But watching the 2 leaders, I've been paying attention to turns 1 and 2. That is much more the send it in there and hope for the best. And that corner uses a lot more right front tire as you enter in. The load is so heavy on the right front tire. And we're seeing that Corey has used more of his right front. That's why his car is so bad in 1 and 2, but he's arguably better in 3 and 4, where that car rolls back onto the right rear and you kind of drive it with the throttle. It sounds dumb to say that, but you're straightening the wheel out. You're not turning the car with the wheel, you're turning it with the throttle itself. And that's arguably where he's better. So they're kind of even. That's what makes Darlington great, is you can be fast on one end of the racetrack, but the other end is completely different. And you might be slower there, so it allows these guys to really battle it out, even if one is struggling on one end of the racetrack.
And any fast oval racer can agree with you, and any dirt racer can agree with you. Exactly what you just said. Throttle to turn, keep the wheel straight, hammer down. And if your car is set up for that, you can do that. Though the fixed setups tend to be a little bit tighter, if I understand that correctly, on average. So there's a little bit less of that throttled rotation, but you can use the track. You can use the apron transitions. If they upset the car and get loose, you can jolt the wheel or stab the brake, whatever you got to do to make the car feel a little different. As we come to the white flag, 1 to go, presented by absolutely nobody. John Freeman looking to clean this thing out on the back half of this race. He's got 1 mile left.
Little redemption for him again after Watkins Glen blowing up in 1 and 2. He wants to forget that. Corey Bigley, I mean, he's probably got to be tired of second place at this point. I feel like every race we've run, he's been in second that he hasn't wrecked in. But it's like, without a mistake, Freeman's going to bring it home.
As Corey tries the Kyle Larson line, does not work, and here we go. Win to the car number 5 or the 42, however you look at it, of Mr. John Freeman, which is his first win of 2025 in this Pro Sim Racing Alliance Fixed ARCA Series. So job well done for the 42 to make the pass happen and hold off the 28. Drivers having a little discussion here, talking about it. Fun conversation, though.
It's
And
it's
here we
good
go.
to see drivers that enjoy the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. With a field like this, you want nothing but friends out here racing, having a good time and competitively, and that's exactly what they're doing. But burnouts. Well,
He's got a
I was
couple.
hoping to get more
He's
of a
probably trying to
burnout.
mine that transmission.
Well, I want to see smoke. Let's see. There we go. There we go.
He found the gear he left at Watkins Glen, so
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the money shift. Yeah. There he is. Jeez. Well deserved on this one. But here's the unofficial results for race number 9. John Freeman, Corey Bigley is P1, P2. Derek Welch and Keenan Kimber is 3rd and 4th. Mark Truxell rounds out the top 5. Rodney Roberts in 6th. Frank Griffith 7th. Joshua Ingram 8th. Steve Rada ends up in 9th. Dominic Pettini, your points leader, in 10th. 11th is Chase Rockford. 12th, Brandon Schumann. 13th, Will Jones. 14th, Bobby Hamilton Jr. And it looks like David Bradford and Jason Steptoe did not start. They're just here as entries. So 14 total took the green flag. And that's it. So we're going to take the next minute. We're going to grab our top 3. Let's see if we can do that here. And then we will get the post-race show going. But Colt, kind of summarize this race while I grab our top 3.
sorry, I was adjusting my audio. There's a few disagreements going on the racetrack, but this was a
Yes, there
really,
is.
looking at the time, this was a really fast race. These guys went through here pretty quickly, 60 laps, minimal cautions. There was what, 1, 2 cautions. So good. I mean, good job on these guys racing clean for the most part. Obviously, there's that issue with Truxell and Bettini. Bettini's upset. I can understand that. He's racing for the points lead, trying to minimize the damage with Bigley running up front, but you know, it's this is kind of not a short track, but it races. There's going to be tempers like a short track, and so smart racing from Bigley, from Freeman, guys that it's good to see guys that enjoy the battle. They really worked hard to earn their position tonight, and they were talking about where their strengths were, where their weaknesses were, and they understood where they lost, and where they gained. So that's good to see. I enjoyed seeing those two battle it out. They're running up front every race. It seems like it's just one thing or another always happens to one of them, and they don't get the finish they deserve. So good on John tonight for getting the win.
I just need a quick confirmation, Colt, if Mick Lovin in Discord is indeed John Freeman. I think so. Okay, I got confirmation. That's very good. So we're going to drag him in to the waiting room. We have our top 3. We're in our post race. There we go. We're going to bring in the driver of car number 1, Mr. Derek Welch in P3 tonight. Congrats, dude.
Thank you, sir.
You started 11th. You got slotted without posting a qualifying time. I guess that worked in your favor, man. You came through the field pretty strong. Able to make the late passes, especially with Keenan Kimber late in the going. And so how did you go from 11th to 3rd overall with just that one caution?
Well, I don't know. I've had no practice on this track. I haven't raced this track in years. I can't tell you when the last time I raced this track. So I told him give me an EOL, put me in the back of the pack, and I actually got in here with like 5 seconds left till grid. So that's why I didn't qualify. But I was just feeling the track, and I finally figured it out till about like 10 laps left, and I started closing in on the leaders and got held up by, got behind Rodney, and that kind of held me up a little bit. But yeah, I didn't figure it out till about 10 laps left. So I started posting fast times, but can't believe I got a third.
It never seems to amaze me. Covered quite a bit of leagues, and for the majority, I'd say about 70%. I go, "What was your strategy?" And they're like, "Yeah, I just jumped in with 5 minutes of practice, got about 3 laps here or there, then just kind of hoped that I would do well." Then here you are sitting here talking to us in third place, barely even making the race, so with no practice. So you're quick learning from your end to able to get the speed needed to finish in the top three. But floor is yours, man. Final thoughts before we do let you go tonight.
Oh no, just thank you for the broadcast, guys.
Absolutely, man. You're very welcome, and we'll catch you next week for race number 10.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And there's Derek Welch, driver the number 1, and Mr. Colt. Looks like we have second place finisher Corey Bigley.
Looks like it's time for my weekly Corey Bigley interview. Back with another second
There you
place
go.
tonight. Congratulations, man. Talk to us a little bit about your race and that last little battle there with John Freeman, and what else you needed to seal the deal.
Not hit the wall.
That is helpful. That is helpful. But it's Darlington. It looked
Correct.
like a lot of guys were struggling. It looked like your right front had started to give away before his did. And but he started to lose a little bit of ground. Did you think you might be able to get back to him towards the end?
Yeah, I messed myself up. I like the first run I was being pretty calm and because I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of gap on John. I would like me and him would be pretty even and I would take my time and I would just like because I know the first 20 because like I said, I'm good on long runs here. Or not here, but that's my first time racing this racetrack and I haven't ran it the whole time. I finally figured out the track in about the last 20 minutes of practice. I finally figured it out. I just couldn't hit my mark. I couldn't hit marks into practice, and I just figured something out in the last. Like I said, I got the pole, and I was just taking my time first run, and then we pitted, and I got back out front the second run, and that was a real long run. I got a little too throttle happy the second run because I knew he wasn't really gaining on me. Me and him were pretty close. I just messed up in the one and I kept overdriving a little too much myself. I know I should back my corner up and I should have just backed my corner up, just took my time.
Well, that's easy to do here at Darlington. Overdriving is super common thing, but congratulations on your run tonight. Anybody you want to thank or any sponsors you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I gotta thank Josh Oswald, my painter who did it. That was my dad's old throwback car for this race. He ran in I think 90. I think it was what year was it? It was 98. It was, or maybe earlier from my dad. That was I want like because it's throwback race. I did it in, but yeah, I gotta thank him. Like my VMS guys, and because like I said, my first time running there, I'm pretty happy. If I had a little bit more time, I think I would have. I think I would have won it. I just had to be a little calmer on the pedal and don't drive it to the fence.
Well, it still worked out pretty good for you. Awesome to see a good throwback. They look pretty good out there tonight. And we'll catch you at the next one at the fairgrounds.
Yep, I should be pretty good there too. Because I run a late model stock there and I know how to get around that racetrack too pretty good.
Well, I look
I
forward to
do.
seeing you rip it around there, man. Congratulations tonight.
All right, and thanks for you guys for putting this on because then I can go back and watch it and see where I messed up and see what I need to do next time.
There you go, man. And also, we'll catch next week for your second place post race.
I don't want second place. I
Cole
wanted to win.
Ainsley.
I had two second places in a row, and I thought I was gonna win at Wilkesboro, and then here I just messed up myself.
You're going to get it, man. You're going to get it either next week or the week after. We'll see you in P1. But until then,
Yeah,
man,
I know. I was getting a little aggressive. I'll be good. But yeah, thanks again.
yes, sir. That's Corey Bigley, driver of the car number 28. Now it's time to bring in a man who still doesn't know what number he wants to be, 5 or 42. He's going to claim both identities. John Freeman, first win of the season, race number 10, or 9 rather. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
We're doing great. That was good race. One caution through 60 laps. One incident that did not bring out a caution, but you kind of were lurking. The 28 had you on the long run the first portion of the green flag run. Then we had the caution. And then your car seemed to just really settle in about 15 laps into that second run, and you just started slowly taking them off until you finally got there.
Yes, sir. That first run, I was kind of just like riding behind him, not trying to push my stuff too much because I knew like it's Darlington, you're really not gonna make a pass unless they make a mistake. So I was kind of riding behind him, knowing I could tell we were like right on the, money to make it on no stops on fuel. We were like right at the 60 lap mark. So it was just like long race. Let's see what happens. Then we had that caution, tried to beat him out of pit road. Didn't quite work out. So same thing, man. I made some mistakes the first few laps, as you probably seen on the restart there. I had to fight those guys off, knowing how tough track position was to keep P2. Pushed it a little bit harder than I wanted to get back to him, and then kind of the same thing as before the caution, man. I just rode there and waited for him to make a mistake, hoping he would. When he did, I had to put the elbows out and take advantage of it because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get to pass at Darlington. So we're able to do that and then hold on for the last 10, 15 laps or whatever it was.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Solid performance there. Mr. Colt, do you have anything for your race winner tonight?
Well, I'm glad you kept the transmission attached to it this week.
Pain.
But congratulations, man. I was watching that race. It was a fun battle seeing you and Corey duke it out like that. I'm glad. I talked about it a little earlier. I was glad to see guys that enjoyed that fight, the strategy that y'all employed, the tire saving, and y'all made a clean. You made a clean pass. So it's good to see guys be able to battle it out like that. You gave them the fence a little bit, but it wasn't too egregious. It was a lift or wall moment, and it was a good move. So it's good to see guys like that be able to battle it out for the lead, and it was a good race overall. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I didn't want to completely fence him, but at the same time, I knew it was a clear the air or it's going to be very sketchy in turn one. So we had, like I said, we had to get the elbows out a little bit. But I was telling my buddy Schumann, who unfortunately got in a wreck, I was like, that's about as clean as you can ask for a pass at Darlington late in the run. And Corey was a good sport about it, and it was good racing him all night.
Yeah, man, absolutely. A fun battle to watch toward the end, and you got the checker flag. Any shout outs you want to give out before we let you go tonight?
Oh yeah, Twisted Speed Setup Shop, my teammates, everyone there, Glenn Grimm, Andrew Nagy, Brandon Schumann. Shout out to my sponsor, Wheels on Wheels Auto. They're in Michigan. Make sure to check them out. And where are we at next week, guys?
Fairgrounds.
Make sure to tune in, everyone watching, for another great broadcast at the fairgrounds because these guys do a great job. So everyone have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, absolutely. You too. And we'll see you next Thursday. All right, there it is. There's your top three getting their post race interviews for the post race show. Colt, one caution. That was a pretty decent race. Got some fireworks mid race. Off the track, on the track. Great battle for the lead toward the end, and overall, pretty good race.
It was a pretty good race. I was a little surprised we didn't get one or two more cautions, especially with that big incident. I say big incident with the 49 and the 5. iRacing has been a little finicky with their cautions lately, so I get it. There's a big open runoff down there, so it can kind of go either way. I would have liked to see that be a caution, but at the same time, we know it would have turned into a mess had these guys gone in there taking fresh tires. You'd have had guys take two. You'd have had guys stay out. It probably would have got a little messier there. It was good to see the two fastest cars finish in P1 and P2. Honestly, probably the three fastest cars got the podium tonight. So that was it was a good race overall. Darlington's really a driver's track. The cream rises to the top, and as much as a lot of people hate to drive this place, you do really cut your teeth with a stock car here at a place like Darlington. So it was a good race tonight. Gonna be a good race Sunday night on track limits. You get to see me lose the point lead because I'm probably gonna do it. But our Bradford Aeroworks car is pretty hooked up, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I still suck at this track too. I know the long run is key, and I'm always burning up the tire regardless of what I do. So it's definitely a track that you just have to have the skill set to be able to perform here. And John Freeman tonight was that driver. We're going to close this thing out. Appreciate you, Dustin, for doing all the buttons and magic behind the scenes. Colt, thank you for joining me for another Thursday broadcast. It was a good one here tonight. And everyone, stay safe, get your nerd on. And as Dustin would say, it's not goodbye, it's just till next time. We'll see you then.
Back when